Hello, this is Paloma. I come back with the story the sky is telling for the next few days. Beautiful family, thank you for sharing space with me, for listening, for supporting this channel. So we are at the doorstep of the new moon in Libra of the 21st of October at 28 degrees of the School of Sacred Relationships. Before we actually get to the new moon, we have been experiencing what we call a T-square, cardinal T-square, that will be a part of the new moon and will also somehow weave a story towards new paths and actions that are oriented to healing, to restoring harmony, of course, and true balance through some tension and discomfort, perhaps. This is because we have the Sun opposite Chiron and both squaring Jupiter in Cancer. So these cardinal tensions ask us to move, to act, there's like an impulse, no, of this energy. If we look at the characters, this would be action towards the healing of familiar, maybe even transgenerational patterns that have been limiting our strength of affirmation, independence, and authenticity, perhaps through the patterns in Libra that sometimes don't want to rock the boat or want to maintain peace through sacrifice, you know? So the sun is there like a witness from Libra. In Libra, we usually want to find a win-win circumstance of true balance. And through the sun, I think we are to cultivate enough of our own light and consciousness to use our will to truly harmonize without this sacrificing our authenticity, maybe moving through the vulnerability of Chiron, and also just drinking from the optimism, very nourishing optimism of this beautiful Jupiter in Cancer without turning it into idealization. So we're kind of there, just willing to look in the patterns that are revealing themselves right now, so we can perhaps honor and have gratitude whilst we let go of these maybe loyalties, contracts, agreements, bindings, cords that are keeping us tied to any kind of relationships that can no longer sustain life within themselves and also our next part or stage of our journeys. So I think it is a tension that nevertheless brings a lot of clarity about how we want to reestablish the foundation of our connections for the now and for the future. It is a seed that we will work with through the next 6 months. So imagine yourself March, April 2026, standing in this new wave of energy. And this is the moment where we get clarity about what we want and what we don't want, truly, especially in the realm of relationships. Also, just the day before the new moon, but part of the new moon, we have the exact conjunction of Mars and Mercury in Scorpio. And this by itself is quite strong energy. In the best sense, I would say it is a calling us into walk or talk, of truly aligning with integrity and coherence our thoughts, words, and actions, with the power of transformation, with the very strong determination to move forward with an exercise of empowered will. Yes, to look into what was hidden, to look through or make transparent dynamics, and so we can work with our own shadow, of course, to become accountable for things and realize where we have been a part of this unbalance in our lives, so balance can be truly restored from the inside to the outside. This is also a conjunction that to me speaks to truly observing and just becoming really aware of our inner narrative, or our thoughts, so we don't become reactive or go into our automatic pilot, and we can truly transform our ways of relating through open, honest, aware, and authentic communication. Naturally, it's about discovering secrets, and it's a very alchemical energy where we can transmute poison into medicines through the strength of love. We might be facing some fears, also assuming some desires, but there is the strength to do this, no? May we have the temperance to have the conversations that perhaps have been postponed and are necessary now. And let's just think a little ahead. Mercury and Mars are going to start weaving these amazing, beautiful water trines to Saturn, then to Neptune. So there is this support through intuitive knowing, through instinct as well, and through staying connected to what we feel. This liberating of the waters that we've been talking about for quite a few weeks now, this will be truly enhanced for the next month or so. So the new moon in Libra it's interesting now. We're going to be having the new moons at the end of the season. So this to me speaks that after observing and experiencing, in this case Libra, we get to this final moment with a clearer intention, a more mature intention for this experience within alliances, collaborations, and relationships. I would say this is an energy that is inviting us to reestablish or revisit, reassess our contracts in relationships with friends, with lovers, with parts of ourselves. I think there is a need for clarity within and without of true support and just agreements that invite us to keep growing instead of stagnating our evolution, no? And this becomes clear. We can renew agreements, aligning the truth of how we present ourselves to ourselves and how we present ourselves to relationships. It's again about honesty, clarity. This is a seed that can also be, of repairing or reconciliating relationships and also new alliances with which we will be opening destiny in 2026. So it's a powerful scene for something that will be very, very new in 2026 that we haven't done before. So we might have to say no, to establish some boundaries, to perhaps disillusion some people or be disillusioned ourselves. This is also the path towards this clarity. We're letting go of dogmas, of thought patterns that have kept us in a limited space, so we can truly enter a path of spiritual evolution through relating, maybe just from a truer space. To me, this is a seed of harmonization. So what is requiring or calling in harmony in your life within and without? How could we cultivate a baseline of peace, of calmness, of beauty in our lives and our relationships? This without the cost of our identity, of course, or a lack of self-respect or betrayal towards self or values. No, but presenting this truth of who we are and then co-creating with great compassion, love, and creativity, because we are all in a very deep journey right now. So also learning to listen, I would say, noticing when we are assuming without truly verifying the story we are telling ourselves or our projections, allowing intimacy through vulnerability, cultivating curiosity so we can truly create safe spaces for our humanness. These revelations in terms of relationships aren't only about company outside. It's also about aligning ourselves and our inner parts with a higher truth of sacred exchange. And so we can become truly aware of this interbeing, interdependency, and connection to everything, not only our human family, but all of creation, I would say. So 28 degrees, so you can look this up in your own map. And also this new moon is finally closing up eclipse season. So we might be coming to a wiser point of view, more balanced, so we can make some decisions. And this is a moment where we can be truly intentional with our seeding something. When we are in eclipse season, we just sort of like allow energy to tell us. And now this becomes a bit more settled inside, and we can participate with the appropriate degree of trust and surrender to divine guidance. We can also put our seed there, no? With the commitment of our soul, the commitment towards not only our own personal or interpersonal relationships, but the wider collective energy, because the Sabian symbol for this new moon is just so exquisite in terms of becoming aware of our participation of something larger. What else? Well, we can actually use this energy to heal resentments, to just create healthier ways of relating, to observe our own emotional patterns, and to, it's not about avoiding conflict, but about navigating through conflict with a willingness to repair, to create bridges of reconciliation instead of perpetrating separation and division. So this could also be a seed for peace, you know? Okay, so on the 22nd, we also have this very important movement. Neptune, his retrograde, is going to go back to Pisces, so crossing the threshold again of this threshold that we've been in all through 2025. This is for the last time going back into Pisces before he's rebirthed into Aries next year. So perhaps you remember I've been telling you there will be a pulling back of the tide at the end of 2025 to truly just cleanse, order, let go, forgive, heal, and free ourselves. What illusions, expectations, or idealizations are we ready to just let go of? This is the end of a dream, or maybe the awakening from a dream. This immersion in Pisces, where we have Saturn there, the North Node as well, is this space. Pisces is really where everything goes back to, and where everything comes from, you know. So entering these waters will truly, or could be, a moment of inspiration, of regeneration, of resting, of healing, of it's like a gestation energy of the new, whilst we just say goodbye to a lot. There's an amplification of intuitive insights, mystical gifts, a time to go deeper into our spiritual, creative, inspirational practices. And yes, he's gonna stay retrograde until the 10th of December. So just have looking ahead, think of November with all of this energy pulling us back into this deep space of introspection, because we will have Mercury retrograde for most of November as well. So just take that in account. We will be in this reassessing, cleansing, sort of going into our inner sanctuary. And then I think there will be a shift when both Saturn and Neptune start moving direct, still in Pisces, but there will be a shift there. So for now, that's the energy. And also on the 22nd, we will have the Sun entering Scorpio. So more water. It's very watery. Sun light in Scorpio, which is the working with the shadow. To, I think it's just a moment to become aware, maybe be confronted, and also just making peace with the fact of the matter that life has its cycles of life, death, and rebirth. You know, there's darkness, there's light, we fluctuate, everything is needed. And this Scorpio season is also a moment, obviously, of transformation and change. We are meant to go inside to reflect about who we are, how we got here, without judgment, just to fully arrive into the place where we are from this introspection. So we might, have the need of retreat to the inside. There is always an emphasis on depth, intimacy and trust, on clarity through feeling, through emotional realms. And there will be these beautiful trines of water, as I said, that I think are supportive in order to dream ourselves or have new dreams and visions, as well as cleansing and letting go, supported to do it from a place of maturity, responsibility, and just clarity. We will be liberating a lot that no longer serves the new energy, and perhaps renewing commitments inside of ourselves, and maybe even, as I said, from the Libra season into Scorpio, with some of our relationships. There is intensity, obviously, passion also. The decision making, as I said, with the new moon in Libra, I think we will be making decisions, but they look more strategic than extremely forward at the moment. There is a lot of, as I said, intuition and instinct available. I think it's more about just closing up cycles, healing old wounds, turning pain into medicine, and growth through authenticity and power. This is the school of power. So it is a reconnecting ourselves to the power of our will, remembering the power of our will has to do with aligning ourselves with a higher will, a divine will. So that's what I have for this week, beautiful family. I pray that you have a beautiful sitting and intention moment with the new moon of just peace, calm, beauty in your life and all of your relationships. Blessings. Tlasukamate.